What's up, guys? Happy Mondays. Hope everybody's doing well today. Market finally got a little bit green, started to turn around a little bit, so things are looking kind of good. I'm not sure if we can continue in this direction, but it's looking nice. Everybody likes when market is green, right? So we got some interesting earnings today. Coupa, and then Mongol Database, Health Equity, Gitlab, and Sumo Logic. So kind of curious to see how those play out. Let's check out Finvis to see what the market bubble was looking like. So the market map today, the heat map today was very, very green. Only a few things was in the red. One of them was Pfizer. Some of the vaccine companies, Moderna got beat up pretty hard. So people are kind of starting to disregard the whole COVID situation a little bit. MRK, not much movement there. Citibank had a nice bounce off 62, but starting to give up some of the gains. Some of the financial stuff are starting to see some recovery. PayPal over $200 again. I mean, not PayPal, Visa over $200. PayPal seeing a slight move. MasterCard. Apple continues to grind back up, 2% green move. A lot of things are pretty bullish today. Amazon, except for Nike and Tesla. Those two were pretty red. I would say overall, majority of the market was pretty bullish, with the exception of some of the COVID-related plays, the plays that would have benefit a little bit more from COVID. Etsy has actually been beat up a lot. I feel like that's in either direction. It's kind of interesting to see it going down so hard. Might see some opportunity here eventually. So, and then some of the reopening trades are really, really bullish, starting to move up very strong. Norwegian, Las Vegas, Expedia, Booking.com, McDonald's, Chipotle. Oh, Chipotle is looking interesting there. A lot of hotels starting to move up. I think some of these moves are fake moves as well. I would not be too crazy about some of these moves going up, because I don't think we're necessarily at the end of this whole COVID situation, and like kind of like last year, in March, like how they downplayed it, the whole scene a lot. I feel like this could be another version of that, where they're downplaying things a lot. But one thing is good though, Facebook is up. I do like that. That's probably one of the few trades I did get into, just because of the metaverse situation, and it's pretty good. So that's seeing some recovery there. Let's see. So Coupa. See how that earnings play out. So COUP earnings per share is 31 cents, up from 18 cents year over year. They actually beat guidance too, because I remember looking at the last quarter's guidance, and they were guiding around 3 to 5 cents or something, and they're reporting 31 cents. That's actually a pretty good beat. And they said they're doing better than last year over year. Sales is 185, beat 178 estimate, and 39% increase compared to last year. So they're actually having a nice turnaround this quarter. Next quarter is supposed to be pretty good as well, 3 to 5 cents EPS, and -6 cents as opposed to -6 cents estimate. So that's pretty bullish. Sales is guiding above the estimate, 185 to 186 as opposed to 184. So that's a pretty good beat there. Coming down a little bit now after a good earning. It's kind of weird. I have to look into this. What are they saying? It says record revenue growth, 186 million, 40% year over year. Quarter calculated billing of 193, 38% year over year. Money flow is about the same. Business outlook was pretty bullish. What's up, RB? What's going on? Full year 22 total revenue is going to be around 717 to 718. Name best LED workplace in 2021. What is best LED workplace? Best led? Best leadership? Is that a typo? Maybe not. A lot of big things. So 40% increase compared to last year. Let's look at the stock compared to a year ago. Last year, the company was trading on $300. On a 2-year basis, company was trading at $173. I don't know. It's starting to look extremely undervalued at this point. I mean, the data is doing better than last year. Revenue is doing much better than last year. It's even, it's continuing to grow. They're flat in the positive sign EPS, and they're at this 2020 levels. If it doesn't bounce here, I don't know what's gonna bounce to. Pretty good numbers. But I feel like the whole sector has been punished pretty hard. So it's something I probably keep an eye on, looking for the opportunity. Let's move on to the other one of my other favorite stocks, Mongol Database. See how they're doing. Yeah, we'll take a look at the market outlook a little bit and discuss a little bit further into that as well. Wow. They're up $60 after hour, man. Jesus. Yo, Mongol Database is so crazy. Every quarter, they've just been flying to the moon, man. God. How are they so nutty? Every time, dude. How do they nut so much? Where do they get this nut from? Wow, man, that's crazy. Let me look into this. So EPS is -11 cents as opposed to -38 cents. That's actually a pretty good beat, even though it's on the negative side. Sales is 226 million as opposed to 205 million. This is a 52% increase compared to losses of negative 31 cents last quarter, the same period last year. And this is a 50% increase compared to sales of 100 million compared to the same period last year as well. What's the guidance like? Guidance is 24 cents as opposed to 34 cents. Sales is 239 to 242 as opposed to 227. So the guidance is strong, better than analyst estimate. Sales are stronger than analyst estimate. Full year guidance is better than analyst estimate. You know, things are looking good on the up and upside. Let's see how they were trading compared to last year. Last year, company was trading around $289. Right now, it's almost 500. So the stock price is about to see 100% appreciation soon. At this point, starting to get a little overvalue here. On a 2-year basis, company was trading around 180s, and it almost hit as high as 600s. So almost like 3x, man. Jeez. Pretty wow. Yeah, database. Yep. Yeah, I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't get the same treatment. Because if I was a gambling man, I would have bet on the downside. I would have bet it for a move to like $250, $260 area. I mean, thank God I didn't make that bet because this was one of my favorite companies, and like it's been very, very strong ever since like I started investing in it. I don't have positions anymore though. But I would hate to short one of these companies. But like the whole cloud sector has been getting beat up pretty hard. You know, everything from like I think Splunk, Twilio, CRM, Docu, all these like cloud related companies are just like getting trash on, right? OKTA, like all these companies, they're just getting wrecked, like absolutely wrecked during the last 2 weeks. But Mongol Database is a whole nother beast. I'm pretty sure majority of their holdings is probably like hedge funds or something. Probably why they're so strong. They probably have some big people holding them, holding on to these positions. Let me see. Let's take a look at that. Let me see if I'm talking out of my butt. See, where's the institution? Yeah, institutional ownership is at 90%, bro. So that's a big difference sometimes. So when institutional ownership is very, very high, it's very hard to fight institutions. It's very hard to fight stocks that institutions own. So when institutional ownership is like 90%, that's not much shares available. So somebody tries to short it, they're gonna get squeezed, like squeezed really, really hard. You know, the team's actually been selling the stock too. That's kind of funny. Like, I'm glad I wasn't talking out of my ass on that one. That would have been funny. Like, imagine I looked at it and it's like 5% institutional ownership. Yeah, so these other guys have institutional ownerships as well, but they're around 80%. MTB was one of the highest ones. It had about 90%. Very strong though. think that's kind of all the earnings for today. We had wow, man, dude, it's about to. Where's the next level? Where's this going? Yeah, I got you, man. Give me 1 second. I gotta respond to this text. Kupa was great. Kupa was a great earning all around. Top and bottom, good guidance. So, all right, let me see. Mongol Database on the upside could see some resistance around 505. So that's a possible area of resistance right there. So 505, 506. That's resistance. 524. And then 559. I think this is probably where it's gonna struggle. This 506 area right here, the point of control. So that's a good area that we covered too. Probably gonna struggle a little bit over there. It might even carry the market, man. Holy smoke! It might not only carry the market, but it might carry the whole sector. Let's see. The OKTA move up. It will probably carry the whole sector from OKTA. It'll probably start finding the reversal in Splunk. Was anybody fortunate enough to catch this $90 drop on Splunk? Guru probably did, yo. But we might start to see reversal in Splunk. Hell, we might even see the reversal in Daku or CRM. I think that based on how bullish Mongol Database moved, I might be bullish across the whole cloud sector at this point, man. A lot of buying opportunity here. A lot of stock that got beat up extremely hard, and on like on a good day, on a good bullish month, dude, this would be like buy the dip. This would be like hand over fist, take my money. You know, just like apes coming up and be like, take my money, take my money. Let's check out Gitlab. Let's see if it does get rejected at 506 though. I would love to see if that happens. Like a douche. That would just show how strong the point of control is. Yeah, I like CRM. I think CRM is gonna be a good reversal. They had a good earnings. You know, things are nice for CRM, and they were holding support very well. It's a good company, man. CRM used to be like one of the most popular companies in 2018 to trade stocks on. Like, what is it? Everybody's trading like Nvidia now and Tesla, but dude, back in the day, everybody was like CRM. The liquidity was so good, man. Sheesh. Gotta bring that back. Gotta bring that hype back. Everybody start trading CRM. I feel like people still do probably because the contracts still move really well. Liquidity is good there. Gitlab. Earnings per share is 34 cents as opposed to 48 cents. Sales is 66.8 mil as opposed to 59.24. The company reported 66.8 million, which beat estimate by 12.676%. So it looks like this is a good earning, beat top and bottom. guidance for next quarter is pretty in line, pretty bullish as well. They're looking at guidance of -25 to -26% in loss earnings per shares, as opposed to -27% loss. 27% loss. Sales is guiding above as well. Full year sales is also bullish. So stock came down a little bit. I don't think a lot of people are trading this company though. It's a dev OS platform. How do they even make money? So revenue is up 58% year over year, they said. Oh, they make money from donations. This is like GitHub. Is this GitHub? Am I getting confused? Oh, competitor. I thought these companies don't even make money. I thought these companies are just like Reddit. But hell, even Reddit does a lot of marketing now. So they might even be collecting money. Oh, Microsoft bought GitHub in 2018. Yeah, I never understand how these companies make money. So they have about 50% growth year over year compared to last year. The stock just IPO recently, so there's no real data to compare to about last year. As with most IPOs, it's gone up and now it's coming back down. It's hard to value this company because there aren't that many similar companies in the space. But so far as of right now, they aren't really making money as a whole because they're still like negative EPS. So market imbalance today was 371 million to the sell side. Overall, well, at the end of the close, it was 700 mil, which means is not as high as we thought it was gonna be, or as high it was the previous days, which is kind of good, because December 2nd it was 3.8. Friday it was 562. So things are getting better and better in terms of on the sell side. There's also been a lot of reports that the Omicron is weaker than expected. The side effects are very mild and whatnot. However, I think that at the same time, they're also like trying not to like spread fear. So I'm not like I'm not like, taking it at the full value that they're talking about. Just gonna assume for the worst case scenario, because if we're looking at data, you know, if we're looking at the data instead of what they're telling us, data is telling us that, that Omicron would naturally be a stronger competitor or beast. But I mean, if you guys watch enough UFC fights, you know that like stats doesn't always make make people win. So it's a luck, which means it could be other factors, random factors and things that come together. That could like make or break the situation, right? But I do think it is like it could potentially get out of control. If they're saying it's more infectious and it has the ability to you know, dodge around the antibodies better, then that sounds like it would be a stronger competitor compared to the Delta variant. But we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Um, we're either on the full path to recovery, or we're fully gonna get sidetracked and wrecked. But here's the market outlook for this week that it posted this morning. So posted this early this morning. So market outlook. SPY and ES, as we mentioned last week, the market had a good exhale after a hot run, and we're getting to a very oversold level on the S&P 500s. As you can see, very oversold, extreme bottom. So I think it's time to look for value opportunities. That was this morning. If you guys look, there were some value opportunities. Whether it was like PayPal, or whether it was like Citibank or Facebook, whatever your favorite stock is. So look for some value opportunities there, or even CRM. So some stuff were very nice, very cheap, undervalue. Even Zoom actually, that's kind of a weird one, because we took a position on Zoom as well this morning, and I'll explain a little bit more why I took the position on Zoom. But even that had a nice bounce. So I think that was a good value opportunity. Looking for 449.5 or 448.5 on ES to hold as a support line. Looking for us to hold that area and not break under. Tech sector has also been coming down. I said that we could see a small bounce here with the overall market, which is SPY. When we're dropping, the tech sector, which is QQQ, kind of like led the way in terms of the drop. So I'm kind of expecting it to carry us on the way up as well. But I'm also expecting it to follow SPY too. So if SPY starts bouncing, I think the tech sector is going to bounce as SPY. However, the lowest area I would love to see, or the ideal area I would love to see for Q to go, would be 375. That's where I would start buying more opportunities on tech stocks, because tech stocks have been really hot this year. And XOF, probably one of the safer sectors to buy the dip in, because XOF doesn't move a lot, whether it's up or down. So if we were wrong about buying the dip, it's not gonna punish us as hard. If we're right about buying the dip, we won't get rewarded as hard, but at least we get some reward. Have some skin in the game than being on the sidelines. The dollar index is the only thing that's been troubling me, because we used to use it as a leading indicator, but for some reason it doesn't want to lead. It doesn't want to be a leading indicator anymore. It's doing a lot of like what do you call it? It's giving a lot of conflicting theories. So the dollar index started coming back down, which would have signal. I mean, maybe it's still leading. Maybe it's giving us like a day or two head notice. Because when it was coming down, it would. What that would mean is that if the dollar is down, it's good for the market. It will signal the bullishness coming into the market. So we did get bullishness coming into the market today. But it's starting to go back up again. So what does that mean? If it start going up again, it could be bad for market. So that means this could just be another dead cat bounce here, where we like kind of like over here in September to October. So if you see, we drop pretty hard, we slow down a little bit, and then we drop even harder, right? As we hit the bottom of that range, and we have a dead cat bounce to the trend line resistance here. And then we came back down again for a harder bounce. We tested the trend line, broke down one more time before completely just like burst right over it. So maybe we'll see something like that again. That would be ideal. That'd be a good move for a lot of opportunities to get in and out. That would be a good way for longer, short and long positions to play out correctly. But that's the dream. Who knows? I mean, I think as long as we're not going to like sub 400s, we're all happy. So that's kind of the market outlook for today. What else do we have to cover? Oh yeah, let's go with the Zoom call that we play. So Zoom, starting to come to the really close to the bottom of the trend line. It's 167. If it does hit there, I'll probably average one more position. The trend line's been very strong, but today I saw that we had a nice move. I saw that we had a nice recovery. Or Docu is hard, man. They're like an interesting company. They ran up a lot, last year, and they haven't really, justified the gains as well as some of these other companies. Like somebody could say the same about Zoom. Like, oh, somebody could say, oh, you know what, Zoom ran a lot last year, but how could you justify the gains, right? And in a way, Zoom has actually been able to justify the gains. They've been getting a lot of new customers. They've been making a buttload of money and stuff like that. I mean, I still hate the company as a whole. I would never invest the company long term, because I don't like the CEO. I think his interview skills are horrible and just sounds like a bozo, man. But despite that, I like the technicality. I like the reasoning behind it. It's a stay-at-home stock. The market is bouncing. The tech sector is bouncing. ZM is part of the tech sector. So Zoom is part of the tech sector. We're getting close to the bottom of the trend line. So which means we're either going to bounce now, or we're going to bounce at some point or another very soon. So which is why I got a spread that was a month out to give us simply enough time, from right now it's like the 6th, going all the way to January 7th. That's our expiration for it to go to 240 area. So it's not that hard. Think about it, a month for Zoom to go back to this range. The possibility is within bound, even if we're at this range here, like May 6th. So look at this, May 6th, May 6th, right? It started going down and then it started to bounce. So we're looking for a move back to this purple line right here. So May 12th it hit here, and then and May 21 it hit here. So if this plays out like it did over here this time, if it plays out like it did here, takes about 15 days, we would hit this rally here at 255 area by mid-December. I mean, that would kind of go in line with like the Santa rally that everybody's talking about. If we do get one, I'd be sure Zoom would go, right? And then what else? And then if the variant happens to be as serious as I predict, then that could easily like put us there too, because big money will come back into the stock again, and the stock would just randomly spike to that range out of nowhere. So I mean, look at it. Look at the profit just makes sense. It's so far away. Nobody is pricing that move right now. Nobody is really pricing that move because it's just so far away at 240s. So even if we made that move tomorrow, we would be making 500% to 1,000% it's an easy move because nobody is pricing it in. Nobody think it can happen. And I think the chance of profit is probably extremely low in terms of the options chain contract. But in my opinion, thinking about it from like fundamental perspective and like just technical analysis perspective, I think our chances are somewhere around like close to 50%. So I would say that's a good odds if it's close to 50%, man. For us to go from 0 to 500%, like, hella good odds. What's up, Cup of Magic? I feel you, man. I don't like the Zoom as a stock as well. I think there's so many competitors out there, but they're just like mainstream, very popular right now. They could either be like they could be like the Apple. They could be like the Apple of tomorrow. When Apple first got into the phone market and got very popular. Or they could be like the Skype. The Skype. Where Skype used to be very popular. It was like one of the best video apps out there. Like I remember when everybody was on Skype. We used to do interviews and all type of stuff on Skype. We can do dates, all types of stuff, anything, man. But nobody used Skype anymore. Like it's like well, what the hell? There was literally a system designed just for video meeting, and that was Skype. It was integrated into Microsoft, right? But for some reason, it just so happens when COVID happened, nobody knew Skype. It just fell out of light, because Microsoft didn't know how to do marketing. These guys didn't seize the opportunity, and they didn't advertise it. They didn't make it easy. They didn't have a business development team, to go to schools and start selling the package of Skype. Neither did Google. And they just got wrecked. So, and these are both huge companies, like between Google, with the Google Hangout, Google Meet, because Google has a Zoom package version too, and Google literally already has that foundation for schools too. So Google could have easily, man, been the top. They could have been the next Zoom. They could have ate all Zoom's market share. If they just had a sales team, business development team to like make contracts with all the schools, help them out, teach them the way, the right amount of customer support, man, forget about it. But they slacked, they slept, and once you sleep, man, once you sleep on somebody, they're gonna get your food. That's it. It's over. Speaking of which, we got some Monday motivations for those of you that's been following an account challenge or earnings challenge. Know this: the harder you work, the luckier you get. So some Monday inspiration. Yeah, Slack was very popular and good. Did you want me to check out Amazon for you? Cup of Magic. So Amazon on the daily chart was very oversold. It was looking like doo-doo. Ideally, would have loved to see it come back to the 3300 magnet. We didn't really touch it as I expected it. On the half-day chart, we're seeing reversal. We saw this morning, we saw the doji, we saw the confirmation to the upside, we saw the money flow come in. It was just bullish across the board this morning, with all those situations. And then, with the market outlook, I was expecting for market to bounce or starting to bounce. So things are just kind of playing out We do have a possible head and shoulder setup as well. You can either argue that his shoulder is here, or you can argue that the shoulder might be setting up here. So nonetheless, I think we could have some struggle of resistance around this 3500 area, 3522, this whole 35 to 3550 area. I think we're gonna see some struggle. We have struggle here before there. We struggle here before here, right? And we found some support there, even though we broke down late on. So I think we could possibly see some struggle around that 35 area. So that what that means that this week could be a butterfly in that 3500 magnet range. If we do get there, hold there around there. I'm not sure how much money there is to, or value as far, maybe even a calendar to that range. Let me see. Let me see, man. Dang, calendar is expensive. Too much for a challenger account. I mean, it's about 2,500. If it does move to that $3,500 area that I was talking about, you can easily make $500 tomorrow in the 2000s. You make the most money if it continues to stay in that range, that point of range on Friday. So it's a gamble. It's a reasonable gamble, but that could happen. So that's just on the cost spreads. So I mean, butterfly, you could do the butterfly too, but you know, I like cost spreads a little bit more because cost spreads, you burn premium along the way, and it's a little bit more accurate. That even even if you work in that direction, it works pretty well. Butterfly is more like a dart, bro. So you saw the profit range and level between the cost spread and the butterflies. Obviously, butterfly is a lot cheaper, a little bit more complicated to set up for some people, but it's like when you're at the bar and you're playing the dart and you're drunk, bro. Like, you know, like this. It's like this. Yeah, like some of you guys. I mean, even if you're not, even if you don't think you're drunk, when you're playing the butterfly in the market at this moment right now, it's like playing like you're drunk because there's so much factors going on. There's so much different things going on that for you to hit this bullseye is a little bit hard. Is much harder than anticipated. Just because they could release anything, they could change the narrative, and things would just go against our direction. So but that's why I think for butterfly is like a dart, because you have to get that target area by that date, and like it's tricky. And also the other thing about butterfly that I don't like is the fact that it's very, very, very hard to close the position because the premiums are all over the place. Especially something on Amazon is very, very hard to close the position at the price point that is ideally at. So this has happened to me a few times, whether it was SPY, whether it was Amazon. I knew what price it should be at, but I always have to lowball it so hard just to close it. Just because there's so many contracts involved. There's 4 contracts involved. So the more contracts involved, the more complicated it is. It's like this, right? It's like if you were to have a threesome, and you were in bed with 2 girls, instead of you like mainly focus on one girl, mainly taking care of like pleasuring one girl, you have to make sure both of them are pleasure, and you have to like at the same time make sure they're both like not jealous. You're pleasuring them, you're paying the same amount of attention, and you're giving them both orgasm. But if you're not doing that, if you're not like taking care of it properly, it's not gonna work out. It's gonna blow up in your face. So kind of like butterflies, man. If you can't close the position at the target that it should be at, and you don't manage to close it in time, it's gonna blow up in your face. But just like a threesome, it sounds great, dude. It sounds great, man. It's like every man's fantasy, right? Every man's fantasy until it happens, and then it blows up in your face the next week. See, do you get what I'm saying here? That's butterflies. That's why sometimes I'd rather just do calendars because I'm only dealing with 2 contracts. I just gotta get 2 contracts filled. You know, it's just me and the other girl. RB Nika was like, threesomes. If I want to feel like I'm disappointing 2 people at once, I'll go to dinner with my parents. Word. You guys, butterflies are fun. Exactly. That's what they say about threesomes too. They say threesomes are fun. Oh man. It's a lot of things looks good on paper, but it's not as good as it seems. That's just how life is. How is Twitter looking if not covered already? It's a good question. Let's take a look at Twitter before we end the stream here. Ooh, Twitter. I think we looked a little bit on Friday. Somebody took a long on Twitter. Did they not? Raise your hands if you took the long on Twitter. I remember somebody asked about it last week. I don't know if it was Nasty Nate or someone else, but someone asked and they were very bullish on Twitter. And they asked if we were finding the bottom on Twitter. I don't know if it was like over here or if it was over here, but I thought it was a good area to start position, especially if Facebook reverses as well. It's actually looking very, very, very nice on the daily chart. So this would actually go perfectly with the 007 swing system, man. So our swing, this is our swing indicator here, right? This is the ideal setup here. We got this, like, you know, thin candle, this indecision. So you want to look for indecision like this green candle right here. And I mean, it's not always gonna go the direction you want, but it's a signal of reversal. This is what you call the ideal reversal setup. So kind of like over here, you got that thin, even though that candle is a red candle, right? At least you got that thin candle, which shows that it's indecisive. It's like it's playing tug of wars, right? Think of the thin candle as playing tug of war. Two people pulling at both sides, you know, 2 teams pulling at both sides, buyers versus sellers, both pulling the rope, and it's going nowhere, right? They're pulling the rope and it's going nowhere. So that's where it is right now. And when that happens, you know, eventually one side is gonna win. So one of the side is gonna win, and it doesn't necessarily always mean it's gonna go to the upside, but if this whole time the other side was winning, if this whole time the bearish side was winning, right? If we were playing tug of war and this is just the candle being pulled in the middle right here, that means the whole time the bears were winning, right? The bears were pulling the rope, they were winning, they were about to win, they were killing it, and then the bull finally took control. They pulled it back, they drove the rope back to the middle, you know, so they're getting that momentum back. And you know what happens when the underdog comes back like that? Most of the times the underdog wins, man. When they can come back from defeat like this, they usually end up winning. So ideal setup is this right here, where we just came back up to that resistance right here. So we got first level resistance around 49, next level is around 52. So I like the setup here. I think it could set up for a nice move to the upside. Obviously, if market doesn't continue crashing, right, this would be the ideal move. This would be the directional move that you would get, and you would play for. I mean, let's look at the intraday chart. You got the money flow coming in. Boom, boom, 2 green candles, 2 arrows up. So the money flows are coming in. MMs are getting in here. They like it. Let's check the flow. Check the flow. Where's my flow checker, man? Oh, my bad. Flow checker is right here. So flow checker actually says there was a lot of puts, but these are puts being sold at the $40 mark. There was some puts being bought at the ask at the $30 mark. There were some at the 38, and then there was also a bunch of puts that is being sold at the $62 level. Very high levels, man. So these higher levels, I don't think people are necessarily selling the puts at that high. I think these are people closing their put positions, which means they think it's gonna bounce. They're closing positions. They don't want to be caught on the reversal to the upside. We did have a $40 sweep this morning from March 18. We did have some short-term puts here. Might be a small hedge position in some of the other plays. And then we saw a bunch of puts being sold at $40 levels, which means they don't think it's gonna break under 40. So if we count all the positions that play out for today, which is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 out of 10 of today's option flow was bullish on Twitter. I would say that's 70% bullish, man. With 10% neutral and 2% bearish. So it looks like it's going in our direction, boys. Hope that works out. So I like that. So I'm gonna post this in. I'm gonna post this in our. If you're in Xtrades. Looks like a bullish reversal on the daily chart. Could see 49 and 53 next. So that's a good move. Are there any other setup for the weeklies that you like? Well, actually, let me stop you there for a second. I hope you mean for this week. I don't really play weeklies a lot. It's not something I play a lot anymore. I do a lot of swings. So for me, if I was bullish on Twitter, this is probably something I would do. If I think my price target is at 53s, I probably sell 53s and buy 53s or 52.5s, depending on what the bid and ask is at over there. Yeah, so probably do 52.5s. It would cost $188, but if it moves in our direction, I could make 100% tomorrow. And then if it moves further in my direction, I can finish up at 300% profit. That's a little bit further out. Actually, talking about this one. This is where the big profit is. Sell the front month, buy the back month, can make up to 1,000%. Ooh, easy money. Might even set up this place. Hella cheap, man. So that's like at least 2 weeks swing on there, because we got one of the longer time frames on it. But as far as some of the setups for this week, I like CRM. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Holding the support really well right here. So ideally would love to move up a little bit to 270s at least. So we had a good bounce today on the half-day chart. As you can see, getting green. I'm looking for that move up and for another rejection to happen. But whether the rejection happens or not, I'm going to be exiting at that area. Another one I was looking at was Roku. Roku, when it moves strong, right? So it's starting to find some support around that 199 area, $200 psychological levels support. So a very good move to the upside. I like it. Can even see 236 if market goes big bullish. But who knows? PLTR, let me see. PLTR starting to find some support as well. I like this company for some buying opportunity, coming to the second level of support around 16th to 18th here. Relative income group is another long-term hold for me, starting to reverse to the upside as well. Good move. And MRK is just a fundamental play. Has not made that reversal move yet, but starting to find some support. So 71 to the $73 area is an area I like. Probably look to add position tomorrow. Ideally, we'll want to wait for the dividend date to play out, but probably going to start a 2-month position here. But yeah, those are some of the positions. Hope that helps. It's almost 5. Gonna end the stream here. We'll be back here tomorrow to go over some of the other earnings, and talk about some of the other stuff going on for this week. So I hope you guys have a good week. I hope things continue to stay green for you guys, and you guys make money, man. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out, and have a good night, guys. Take care.